Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it is time for another one of my client Garrett's vlogs, and he had a very good week. As far as his training goes, we did really well. His 5+ sets, which are all 85% training max, the worst one he got 8 reps. The weakest one. So on his bench, his squat, his press, and his deadlift, he got between 8 and 10 reps for those peak sets this week, which means he's going to have some good PRs coming up in a couple weeks. Right, we're going to hit some pretty good lifts. There's going to be PRs. And again, he's responding extremely well to this training. Extremely well to this training. Again, well into intermediate numbers on his way to being advanced at this point. Now, he's going to have to eat more. He's going to have to bulk to get there. But realistically, by the end of this year, we can have him to being an advanced lifter. Right? He'll be an advanced lifter. And, what do I mean by that? I don't know, pulling at least 450, close to 500, benching 275, so on. Squatting is a little rough for him, and it's because he's tall. I believe he is 6'4". He's up to 210, but we need to keep bulking. And a guy who's 6'4", people would say, well, how much does he need to weigh to really be big? Well, he needs to weigh a lot more. Now, he'll have a certain look. Like, this is one of those guys that people need to remember. When guys carry a lot of muscle and they're lean, tall guys like this actually look good in public. Like they look good in person. And people don't understand that difference when you're dealing with the internet versus real life, because that tall stature matters. And if a guy like this has got a decent amount of muscle and lean, they usually look pretty good. But he wants to be strong. So we're going to have to keep bulking. But, I would say even in terms of just if you wanted to just look good, gain another 10 pounds. But if he wants to get really strong, 20, 30, he might need to go up to as high as 240. We don't want to do it this year. That's too quick. But, when we start looking at over the next 3, 4, 5 years, he may need to do that to really maximize his strength. And we could make the argument for guys going up to 300 pounds even, not just 240. I've known guys who are like 6'5". I have a cousin who's 6'5", NFL, went in NFL. He coaches for the 49ers now. People are going to jump up and accuse me of lying until they research it and he's actually not. So, again, one of the silly things that people accuse me of lying about. I've seen him over 300 pounds at one time when he was in college, and something like 310, and he looked great, right? But he's 6'5". For those who are curious who that is, Chris Kasurik is my first cousin. His mom was a Blaha, my dad's sister. I grew up with him. So, back over to his training. He did great on the squats. He did great on the squats this week. I believe he hit 10 reps. So let me double check that. No, he got 9. He got 9 on his squats. So again, we're going to have a sizable squat PR. It's going to be a sizable squat PR. Also, we got some leg raises in there. Right? You got to get some leg raises. I like the leg raises. People bring those up. They're like, why do you like those so much? Because they are one of the best squat accessories you can do. Dave Tate has always said that, and in my experience, my personal experience, Dave Tate is dead on the money with that. Because I've heard him say that the leg raise is one of the best squat accessories. I can tell you guys right now, as someone who you guys have seen squat, up to 605, and again, I may not be able to do that in the 198 coming up. I can tell you that the leg raises carry over to my squat. And it's because it works the abdominals. If you get the legs high enough, it works the abdominals extremely well through their full range of motion. But again, the adductor work. Adductors tend to limit our squats oftentimes. They're a very, very important muscle for building a big squat. So it's useful for anyone, but what happens when you have the taller guys like this who really struggle to fill out their legs? If their ab work can put some adductor on them, then their squats go up. You guys will also notice I have him doing Romanian deadlifts now. Well, the same thing. You guys will notice my taller guys like that. I like RDLs. I like RDLs a lot for my tall lifters, more than good mornings. Some of my shorter lifters, I really like good mornings. These taller guys like this who struggle to fill their thighs out, I like the RDL. And we do it because it helps build the adductor, not just the hamstring. So if all of our supplemental work is doing that, is hitting the adductor, then we fill those adductors out. Because they're hard to build. It's hard to build quads and adductors on a tall guy. Guys who are up over 6 foot, it is so hard. So again, if we can do that, we are doing great. Which, by the way, this deadlift set, this was fire. 10 reps. 10 reps with 85% training max. Again, his deadlift is climbing. Deadlift is climbing. He'll deadlift 500 this year. All right, Garrett is going to deadlift 500 this year. I'm going to get him there. Now, we've had to do a lot of work to get that deadlift fixed because of, again, his weak hamstrings. So we've worked hard on that, and there's still some of that there that we're seeing that backgrounding. But, you know, I'm dealing with it. We're working with it. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. You know, and that's something we still see here, just like you guys saw with Amrit, right? Amrit still has that same issue that we need to work on. And there's going to be some coaching involved in all of that for these guys further. But also, it's just the development and the programming. We've got to shore up those weak links that cause that compensatory strength. But again, notice he's just killing it on deadlifts this week. Killing it. And you guys will see near the end, we finish off with the RDL. So I have most of his supplemental, actually all of his supplemental work on his lower days hits the adductors. Okay, we do the goblet squats to help work the quads and adductors more. We do hanging leg raises. We do RDLs. Every one of those work adductors, adductors, adductors. Okay, these taller guys have to have that. It is so beneficial for them. You guys will see him doing them here. We're finishing up with this. But again, I think we're going to see over the next few weeks, we're going to see some big PRs because he is just on fire with this rep work right now. This was a perfect training week. Perfect. I could not ask for a better training week from a lifter as a coach than what we saw this week here. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.